Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, especially to be among all the activists here, and especially the young activists here fighting for justice and equality. It's incredibly inspiring. I originally intended coming here and speaking solely on the transgender non-discrimination policy. However, I saw recently that Action United had planned this Solutions Not Suspensions rally, which talks about the crisis of over-suspension, which is plaguing our schools and feeding into the school-to-prison pipeline, and is also directly connected to the attacks on our public schools through defunding and privatization. So I realized that I had to change things around a little and speak of how these two things, although seemingly separate and distinct, are actually quite related. So a little bit about myself. I'm a teen librarian, one who works almost exclusively with young people from Pittsburgh Public Schools. Most of whom are from marginalized backgrounds, poor and working class, youth of color, many of whom are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. It should not be news to anyone that we live in a society which is still deeply marred by racism, homophobia, and transphobia. In our schools, this manifests as a disproportionate suspension of black, brown, queer, and trans students, but over-policing and diversion to the criminal justice system of these same youth, and the reality that many of our public schools increasingly resemble prisons rather than the community centers and the citadels of education, justice, and humanity that they should be. It is also the case that many young people face the threat of discrimination and bullying based simply on who they are. Like many people talked about earlier, I see children and teens who are hungry both physically and psychologically who have been suspended, whose parents are working 2 or 3 minimum wage jobs, and this situation has to change. The effects of all this can be devastating in the lives of young people who are still learning about themselves and their sense of identity and purpose in life. Like many of you, I'm sure, who work with young people or have them in your life, I often wish that I could do more on an individual level to help them through the ugly realities of American society that so many experience every day. However, the fact is that there's only so much that we as individuals can do. The power to create change lies in us joining together in collective action and struggle. It is for this reason that we owe a huge debt of gratitude to all those who fought and are fighting now for trans rights, an end to the racist attacks on public education, and so much more. We especially owe our gratitude to the young people here who are taking up this fight. Transgender and gender-expansive students deserve a school system that protects who they are with full force of official policy behind them. All our students, but especially our students of color, deserve schools that seek to educate them, not suspend them or funnel them into the criminal justice system. And all our students and all of us deserve public education that is high quality and fully funded. Because the same big money corporate interests responsible for the greatest income inequality we've seen in over 100 years are the same ones who want to privatize our school, make them resemble prisons, strip them of funding, and are also the same interests who want us to care more about who's using the bathroom than about their wholesale attack on our communities and our livelihoods. It's a distraction, a ploy to pit people against one another. It is our responsibility to say no. No, we are going to ensure that our transgender and gender-expansive youth are protected and given the dignity and respect.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.